Hello and welcome to this video on organizing your Canvas course using modules. Now, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by messy or scattered course content, or if your students have asked things like, where do I start? What's due this week? Then modules are going to be something that's very helpful for students and yourself to organize the content well. Now, modules help you structure your course. They create a clear, organized flow for your students. So in this video, I'll show you how to create a module and add content to it, and then explain why using modules isn't just helpful, it's really essential for a good student and instructor experience. Okay, let's get to it. Now, as you can see, I'm at my course here again, and you can see the course menu on the left again. Again, this is the navigation menu. This one's a global navigation menu on the far left, and then the course navigation menu right here next to it. So what we can do is start by clicking modules. Here's the modules tab. Now this is where you build the structure of your course. So I already have a lot of content here. Again, this is a live course. I think this is best to use for demonstration purposes. And to create a new module, you would go to the top right here where it says plus module. I would select on that. Yours might be a different color, by the way. Universities have these color-coded, or institutions in general will have them color-coded according to the color of, depending on what the color of the institution is. Mine's purple. Now to create a new module, you will have to name it. And so I might put that this one is, we'll create another week 1. Let's do that one. Week 1, just to show you how to do it. I'll do introduction to the course. Now you can lock these modules, so when students come in and see these modules and say you assign them each week, you can lock these until a specific date. So you can select lock until, and so students will go through week 1, and then once you're through the first week, then week 2 can open up, and then week 3 would be locked until the end of week 2, and then week 3 would open up. So you can see how that works. But I'm gonna not lock this one. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you can organize by weeks, which I do. I organize these by weeks. But say you have a face-to-face class that might be like a statistics class, and in one module you may want to cover probabilities, or another module you may want to show demonstrations or help students to learn RStudio or statistical software, things like that. So you can title it something completely different. You could title it probabilities, if that's what you want to do. And then I'll just add module. And when I add the module, it will go all the way down to the bottom and add it to the bottom. So as you can see here, it's unpublished. Now this circle with a slash through the middle, that enables us to publish it or unpublish it. So right now it's unpublished, but if I click it, then it will publish the module, and you have the option to publish module only or publish the module and all items under that module. So we have just created a module right here. Now we want to add content, and I recommend always doing this in the unpublished version of the module first to make sure you have everything all set and that there's no errors. And so to add content, you select the plus sign here. So I'll add content here. And you have the option to choose an assignment, quiz, page, file, all of this, discussion post. Now I'll just choose an assignment since that's what's already selected here, but you can create a page, anything like that, and then create an assignment. So I'll select a new assignment. You can use previously used assignments if you've taught before, or have a Canvas course all set up like I do. But I'll select create assignment, and then I can give an assignment name and put it as writing assignment. And then down here, you can see add item in the right corner, and then I'll add item. So now I have a writing assignment, and then you click on it, and then you can edit this. So you can edit, there's no content in there, but you would select edit and then edit it. All right, so now we have a module, and now we have a writing assignment. I also like to do a quiz as well. So I'm gonna add a quiz, so the plus sign again, and then you can see quiz, create quiz. You have the option to do a new quiz or a classic quiz. I'll go through this in another video. I'll stick with classic quizzes so it makes sense right now, and then we'll show you new quizzes. Quiz name, so we could name the quiz stats quiz. Or if you have a textbook you're using, you could do Chapter 1 quiz, Chapter 12 quiz, etc. Now I've created a writing assignment and a quiz. And I'll select that quiz real quick. So you just select stats quiz and you can see you need to add the content. There's no questions here. There's no due dates. That's something you need to do when you first create a quiz. And the nice thing is when you add items here, you can move them around so you can organize them. So you have all these dots on the left-hand side of these items. You can put the stats quiz up there, the writing assignment up there. What I like to do is you can see, we'll just go to week 10 here as an example. I always put the due date in here and I have to change this every semester that I teach, but I overemphasize and are overly clear on the due dates. So July 13th, you see July the 13th, 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 and I make them very consistent. So I have a start here page. I'll just select on that. You can see a content page here. I have a title, what we're exploring, different resources, week at a glance. That's really helpful. When you're overly clear, overly thorough, and everything makes sense, you will see student success. I have data to back that up. So, and then after that, we have a reading for this week. So I made my own page there. And then I have what's called a decision-making matrix. This is for students trying to find careers who are studying psychology. So you can see all of my assignments here. So I'm going to go back to modules again and go down to the one that we just created. So this is all it is. And one thing to note is that you can select the individual circles here to publish them. So you can see stats quiz, I just published it, and then I unpublished it. So you just click these circles here, and that will publish and unpublish. And then you can publish all of them by selecting the module and publish all items, as you can see. Publish module and all items. Now, if you want to create a page, we can do the same thing. We'll select page. So maybe this is an informational page about what the course covers. I'll select create page. So overview of week and then add item. You can see this page here. Now, I like having indentation for assignments. So I may have a bunch of pages with information, with videos, etc. But best practices tell us that hierarchical structure can help students and people in general read faster and stay organized. So if you look at this, so here's interviewing strategies. Now I have a start here page with all the videos, a reading on how to ace interviewing skills. Then I have assignments. I have a worksheet activity where students will collaborate or work on a worksheet. Then they're going to complete an assignment of conducting a mock interview with someone, and then they have a quiz. You can see that these are indented. So if I scroll down to the bottom again with the module we just created, if I was creating this in a real-life class, I would indent the writing assignments and the stats quiz. So how you do that is you right-click on the three dots on the right-hand side and then increase indent. So that's one indentation. I actually started doing two recently because it's more clear. You don't have to, but look how organized that is. So you can see we can start to breathe life into this, add text and everything that we need, and then we'd have a perfect module there for us. All right, now that's how you use modules to organize your Canvas course. You learned how to create a new module. You learned how to add pages and assignments and quizzes to that module. You learned how to rearrange and publish items. And you also learned how to use indentation to improve readability. That really helps with readability. Now, a well-organized module layout helps students to focus, it keeps them on track, and it makes your course easier to manage. In the next video, we'll look at how to create custom course homepages using Canvas Page, and I'll see you then.